Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. A couple DCEU updates that I wanted to talk about yesterday, but because I watched The Death of Superman, the animated movie, so late, I was so tired, I only had time to do a review, had to render it really quickly, put it out there, and boom, bada bing, bada boom. So now that that's out of the way, I can get back into what you've probably already been talking about already, is that Wonder Woman 84 is attending San Diego Comic-Con. Wow, what a surprise. What a shocker. It's not a surprise at all, but it was supposed to be a surprise appearance with Gal Gadot with a look at Wonder Woman 84. They are still shooting. They just started shooting, so I don't know how much material they can give us a look for. I'm just expecting to see what Cheetah looks like. I think that's probably one of the things. There could be a teaser. That's pretty for sure. Also, they'll probably all be there. Gal Gadot, maybe even Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig. Pedro Pascal. I don't know who else is going to show up, but she is bringing a surprise look, which is not really a surprise now, but the material that she's bringing may be the surprise in itself. So be excited for that. David F. Sandberg also cannot wait for San Diego Comic-Con to come, possibly because he does in fact have a trailer there. I'm expecting Zachary Levi to show up. Maybe the kids will show up as well, and we're going to have our first official look with Shazam, aka Captain Marvel. So I am very, very excited for that. Now, this one bit was, it's about Flash. It's about the Flash movie, and I think some people were asking me what my thoughts on the Flashpoint was, or Flash movie that's coming out, because, Dave Film Junkie had put out a video, and his thoughts on it, and Film Gob as well, and they're like, what was your thoughts? And I'm like, I thought didn't I do that one? And I couldn't remember if I did, but here's a summary. I think basically they want to do the Flash movie, but like the Back to the Future style. And so I'm thinking it's going to have that type of not retro, but that type of flair to it. It's a light tone movie. It's got some comedy elements to it, and there's gonna be some time travel. And I think my concern was, well, there's time travel in it, so is that Flashpoint now, or is it just Flash? This is what I want. I don't really want a Flashpoint movie to be Flashpoint Light, and they'll never do Flashpoint again. I think I want them to do, if they're going to do a Flashpoint. It's an emotional roller coaster, and it's serious. What they're doing with Flash was not going to be that, possibly. And if that's the case, then I don't want Flashpoint Light, but it's okay to do time travel elements. Just don't go into the effect of having Wonder Woman and all these people show up in that in a larger scheme, like a JL Josstice League 2 in that event. So I think if they're going to do that, I hope it's just Flash, still Flash, and not Flashpoint Light. I don't know if you really understand what I'm talking about, but, watch Flashpoint and think about making that a comedy. I don't think it's going to happen. So I don't think it's going to be like that. So interested and really eager to see what's going to happen, if they're going to announce or talk about at all at San Diego Comic-Con, as we are still waiting for San Diego Comic-Con. 1 month. One more month until we get there. The main story is something I want to give a shout out to. Comic Movie Marks. Marks as Marks. Make sure you follow them on Twitter. This is a shout out to them. Follow them on Twitter. Follow them on YouTube. And I think they have, when you go to your YouTube video, you can see all the different places you can follow them. I think even on Instagram as well. But basically, they did something on Vero. They put out, and I think they're going to do a video. I'm still waiting for that video. They're going to do a video about how similar, I think this is what their video is going to be, of how similar where this Snyder Cut is to the Donner Cut. Not in the sense of the actual material or things like that, but just the situation and things that occurred between there. They're going to do a much more expanded video, and they're really good at investigative stuff, so please follow them. They also support the Snyder Cut, and they're one of ours, one of our own. So there's there's this one clip that they put out on Vero, and I found it really interesting. And it's where there was a director's agreement, right, for Richard Donner to choose to put his name on top of Superman 2, and he decided not to because that's not the movie he wanted to make. So they asked him, and through that agreement, he says, "I'm not going to put my name on that." And so later on, well, they afforded him and let him make his own cut. Do you want to put your own cut out? And he worked on it for free, and he put out his own cut, which is the Richard Donner cut, which was like 20 something plus years after the Superman 2. But what's interesting when I thought about that is that situation is interesting, is that if there is a director's agreement, did Zack Snyder sign that? Did Zack Snyder look at that? Because if he had watched the film and approved it, then he put his name on it, right? And when you go back and watch Justice League, it says there, directed by Zack Snyder. Yet Zack Snyder said himself he has not watched the film. Does that mean that Warner Brothers overlooked him and did not give him the approval or agreement rights to have it approved by him so that he could put his name on the film? Is that something legal? I mean, is that something to be in shock of because he has not watched the film? That could be quite something. I think that could add to the point that a Snyder Cut releasing may be even more possible because he has a right to. I'm not sure the details on how he left. Did he sign anything? Did he do anything? What kind of agreement did they have that he just gave up and says, you know what, you can put my name on it? But if it's the same situation as the Richard Donner thing where he didn't want his name on it, this could be something. This could be really something. And if that's the case, Zack Snyder right now may be fighting, maybe legally fighting for it. You never know. I don't know. I'm just guessing that he may be onto something, that there is, he didn't watch it. It's an abomination. It's totally different from what his vision was, yet they had the audacity to put his name on it and have him, in a way, approve it without him actually having approved it. So maybe there's something there, like he forgot to sign, he didn't sign something, remember, kind of like the whole Donald Trump thing where he didn't sign that agreement, right? He didn't have his signature or something like that, so it's not binding or something. So that gets me a little bit excited, to hear that, especially when he said he didn't watch it. Well, Richard Donner watched it and he decided he didn't want to put his name on it. So what's going on there? That is really something. But I'm really interested to see what Comic Movie Marks put on their video. I am eager to watch that. Come on, guys. Where is it? But shout out to them. Please go and follow them on YouTube. Follow them on Twitter and all their social media tags. And, I really want to see what leads from there, right? Now, this is something. Okay, so this one last thing before I get to the release of Snyder Cut. Okay? And I prepared myself for this tinfoil hat. Yes, tinfoil hat time is not really fitting on properly. Today, someone told me about it and told me to check out Ray Fisher's Vero. Ray Fisher put out this little tag here. This poster, if I could just grab it again. Hold on one second. It is a Vero post, and it is, when you go on Vero, you can say what you're listening to. Oh, I'm listening to this or this music and stuff like that. And most of the time it's just, oh, they're just listening to that, right? Yeah, it's no problem. So I didn't really think anything of it. And Ray Fisher, he doesn't post that much, so once in a while I post it. So he says, listening to Saturdays equals celebration featuring Jamie and Commons, Big Crit, Fire, 3 Fire Flames. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I was talking, it was that person I won't mention, that we were wondering, we were waiting on because Fiona said that, there could be something coming on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, something around this week. And that, I forgot the guy's name, Testament something, who was been in my video comments, had said there was going to be some kind of news of Justice news this week, right? It is Thursday night, and we haven't got anything, so we're getting a little bummed out. But sometimes they get their timing wrong. Who knows? So we call him Mini Paulo. We need Mini Paulus. But he had said that there's some type of Justice news this week. So I don't know. So we were like, well, that goes that. It's already Thursday, right? But then Ray Fisher puts this up and it says, listening to Saturdays. And I'm like, Saturdays? Do you think he means? No, he doesn't. Then a fellow follower, Brad Curran, he told me that, well, look who liked it. That's right. Zack Snyder liked it. Then I'm like, oh my God, if Zack Snyder liked it, typically you can go beyond the surface level of these things, right? And Ray Fisher is excited, right? Ray Fisher even told us, told Fiona and everybody, and he had that tweet where he thanked the fans and we were hoping for believing and things like that. Saturday. Does that mean, are we going to get something, some type of, I don't know, announcement or news or another hint or whatever on this Saturday, next Saturday? You know what else is on a Saturday? San Diego Comic-Con Hall H panel is on a Saturday. Is this what's going on? Hat down. Maybe. Who knows? But I just thought I'd share that. That was kind of fun today to speculate and think about that. So, I don't know. Be on the lookout. But if there's nothing happen, it could have been just surface level. And it could have just been an inside thing between Ray and Zach. We won't know. But let's see. Let's see what happens. That's all I can say for that. Okay, finally, tomorrow is the release the Snyder Cut Man of Steel edition. This was arranged by Fiona. So basically, it's about Man of Steel. Tomorrow starts with Man of Steel. So here are the things. So basically, put down in your tweet, we hope at Warner Brother Pictures will give us closure to the wonderful story arc started in Man of Steel. This can only be done if you hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and then afterwards you can put a nice quote or a dialogue or quote from Man of Steel with a picture. And this, release the Snyder Cut. Vinol 7, he actually put out the quote, you just have to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be, Clark, because whoever that man is, he's going to change the world. So that is for that. Now, the other, I'm going to have to look in further because we're supposed to post that SC Snyder Cut logo with the release on the bottom. I will hopefully figure that out by tomorrow. But there is that going around. I'll retweet this right now. In fact, let me do this right now. I'll retweet it right now. And so let's get it. Let's get it. Let's make some noise. Like I said, let's make some noise. There is no hurt in making some noise as long as it's positive noise. This is a real positive movement. This is a request. It's not a demand. We're hoping, we're asking, and that is great. That is totally great. And I hope we can really act on something. Because like I said before, and I've said for a long time now, is that silence is our answer. Silence means that they are not saying no to us. They're not saying there's no Snyder Cut. There's not saying there's no release of the Snyder Cut. So we can continue asking for an answer. We can continue asking for some type of acknowledgement. It's fine. The more noise, the more trades will pick up, and more people commenting on us. More bloggers will try to come at us. Of course, then when there's noise, there's going to be a mix of positive and negative, right? So it's fine. That's fine. We want it all because any noise is noise, right? It's just like YouTube. You like it. Even if you dislike it, even if you put a negative comment on it, that chalks it up as engagement to YouTube, and YouTube's going to say, well, they like that, even though they don't like that video, they clicked on it. So it's a win-win. Even though if you don't like the video or you put a dislike and you put a negative comment, I get more engagement. That video gets more engagement. So same thing like this, there's going to be more attention, whether positive or negative. Mostly we'll hear positive, but if we get any negative rebounds, there's people like Jay Oliva or Oliva who will come out and defend and come out swinging, and he's been doing pretty good so far with those incredible facts, and actually stirred up the pot on having bloggers actually say, well, it does exist now. We're beyond that. We're beyond existence. We're now in release and how complete it is, so that's the conversation right now. By the way, I want to talk about this real quick. We're, for some reason, being lumped in with Remake The Last Jedi crowd. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Remake The Last Jedi is a new movement or something. I haven't really read into it, but apparently they want to crowdfund or get funding or something in order to remake The Last Jedi, like actually make enough money to actually redo the whole movie over again, right? And for some reason, people have been lumping Snyder Cut fans with that. Like they're saying, oh, you're just as this is probably the Snyder Cut fans' fault. You're all the same people, and we're like, we're all the same people. We're like, no correlation. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's like there are 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 chances that we'll get the Snyder Cut. And before we even get a remake of The Last Jedi, if at all, right? Because the Snyder Cut exists. It's there. You guys have to make the remake of The Last Jedi. The Snyder Cut exists. That is, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, it's just really strange and weird. But you know what? I think, if they're even talking about us, I guess we're making quite a bit of noise, never know. But anyway, no retreat, no surrender. Tomorrow we rise. Tomorrow we stand and cry, and all will know that we want them to release the Snyder Cut. For Zack Snyder, for DC.